One of the most popular Minecraft streamers released a song with CG5 back in 2021, which got into the UK top 100 charts, and the song goes kinda hard. Just listen to the intro. So we're in the key of A flat major, and we're starting on our good friend, A flat major, and then we switch to A flat dominant 7, which nicely resolves to D flat. And up to here, everything is diatonic and within the key of A flat major, and everything makes sense. Then we switch to D flat minor. What the fuck? But it sounds so nice and so good, so how does this make any sense? Well, I'm glad you asked. What's happening here is we're using the parallel minor of the D flat major chord, and this chord functions as a resolution back to the A flat major chord, because this F flat right here wants to resolve to the E flat note here in the A flat major chord. And this is starting to embark on that negative harmony Jacob Collier stuff, as harmonically speaking, this D flat minor chord is functioning like a E flat chord to A flat major. But this D flat minor chord kind of sounds more dark and less silly than a perfect cadence. Another cool bit of music theory being used here is voice leading. The first chord we play is A flat major, which is in root position. But then the chord after that is in third position, as the G flat note here is the lowest note. And then we go to the next chord, D flat major, and we can see that it's in first position with the F being the lowest note here. And this creates a smooth and economical change from chord to chord. If we were to use the same root note position for every chord, it sounds a bit ass, but Tubbo and CG5 are smart and use a much better chord voicing, so the transitions from chord to chord are smooth and lovely. Let's move over to the board to yap some more. What do I say? Oh. So like I said, we're in A flat major and we're starting on the A flat, which is the 1 chord. And then we go to A flat dominant 7, which is the dominant 1 chord. But then we go to D flat, which is the 4 chord. And lastly, it all goes wrong when we go to D flat minor, which would be the minor 4 chord. Now obviously that's a joke, but we can see here that we're basically using the parallel minor, which is what I explained, and this functions as a resolution back to the 1 chord, A flat. But Matt, how does this work as a thingy thing? How does this work as a resolution back to the 1 chord? Allow me to explain. Oh my god, okay. How does this work? What's left and right? And then really badly drawn. Behold, the circle of fifths. So earlier I mentioned how the D flat minor chord can function like an E flat chord going to A flat as a resolution. And how you can work this out for yourselves at home is with the circle of fifths. Now I'm going to show this in the key of C major for 2 reasons. Firstly, it's simpler. Secondly, it doesn't work in A flat major, but shut up. So what you're going to want to do is cross your circle of fifths like this. So now you have your stuff. And so now we're going to construct the chord of G major, which, as we know, is the 5 chord of C major, the dominant. And in this wacky chord we have G, D, and B. Those are the 3 notes to make up the chord. And now what are we going to do to find the negative harmony equivalent of this? We're going to find the negative harmony equivalent by going over the line to the equivalent one. So this G over here, its equivalent would be C. So we've got a little, and this D, oh, would you look at that? Whoa, the equivalent is F. Wowee, F. There's a bike going by. And then the last one, what? B. Whoa, the equivalent of that is A flat. A flat. And when you get all these lovely notes and smush them together, you get F minor, which in the key of C major is the minor 4 chord. And so basically what we're doing is that we're taking this concept and applying it into A flat major, which, as we've discussed, this minor 4 is going back to A flat, which functions as the same as a dominant chord, but it's the negative harmony. Does that make sense? Another part I love in this song is the use of rhythm, particularly here.
So many transmissions, every day I'm twitching, wishing that things are just an 80-bit different. I know I shouldn't complain at the end of the day, but it's a British tradition.
So what's happening here is rap god Tubbo is using rhythm in a really creative way by going from this semi-quaver rhythm to full-blown triplets, and it's just cold as hell to listen to, and also a pain in the ass to transcribe. The last bit I want to talk about is the saxophone solo. Yes, this saxophone solo. The solo is mostly playing over the chord notes, particularly highlighting the G flat note here in the A flat dominant 7 chord. But I'd like to mention two important parts to this solo. Firstly, the use of embellishments. Embellishments are where you add extra notes to a certain part of the melody. For example, this grace note going up to the G flat note, as well as this embellishment here. And these give the melody more character and interest rather than playing each note like this. The second part I'd like to mention is the use of articulation over the D flat chord. These two scalic passages both have the same notes, however, the first one is more detached, while the second one is played smoothly. And this is a great way of varying the melody and giving it a new feeling without changing any of the notes. Apart from the first one that I just did, but forget that. I've left a link in the description to listen to this song if you'd like to fully experience this fine creation, as well as links to Tubbos and CG5's channel. This video will most likely be copyright claimed, so if you want to support a silly little guy like me, then please, 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 please watch this video here. It's about Animal Crossing music. It's pretty cool, right?